These two hydraulic cylinders are used to steer a grader. They used to leak, but now they're as good as new. Let me elaborate. The reason for the oil leaks is because the chrome on the hydraulic cylinder rod had worn off in certain areas. The chrome plating provides the cylinder rod with a smooth finish. It also enhances the corrosion resistance, wear resistance, and durability to the rod. In this case, the worn-off chrome layer resulted in oil leaks. This is because the oil can bypass the seals in the area where the chrome is off the cylinder rod. Oh, and I also noticed the cylinder rods were bent. So the only solution here was to fabricate new cylinder rods. Just like most of my jobs, this machine needs to be back on site as soon as possible. The grader is scheduled to be loaded on the truck the following afternoon. I still have other minor repair work on the grader as well. So my plan is to complete the two cylinder rods tonight, and tomorrow the cylinders can be fitted and the minor repair work can be done before the afternoon. Fortunately, to fabricate these cylinder rods is just basic machining. It took me about 1.5 hours to complete one rod. It can be done a little quicker, but I chose to make these cylinder rods out of induction hardened chrome shaft. It has an extremely hard surface layer, so smaller cuts were needed to cut the thread through the hardened layer. But the extra time needed to machine this material is well worth it. You see, this induction hardened chrome shaft is a lot harder than your normal chrome shaft. And these cylinder rods get exposed to a lot of stone chip. And with this material being a lot harder on the outer surface, it reduces the risk of any damage to the rod from stone chip. On this side of the rod, I machined past the induction hardened layer, so cutting thread was a lot easier. I must admit, the nut never turned all the way on by hand. I had to use a spanner, but I was happy with this fit. So that was all the lathe work on the first rod complete. I repeated the process for the second one. And that's the lathe work on the second one complete. I then headed over to the milling machine to complete the machining on the rods. I'm cutting 2 flats on each cylinder rod for a spanner. The rod gets a ball joint on this end, and the only way to tighten it is with these flats. Alright. It was now time to head home. Both cylinder rods were complete. The following morning, I had to reseal the cylinders and assemble them. Okay, both cylinders are now ready for assembly. I like to use red rubber grease when assembling a cylinder. It makes your seal slip over a lot easier when assembling. Its nickname in the workshop is actually Romance. Jokes aside though, I know there's people in the comments going to say, it's gonna contaminate your system. But red rubber grease is soluble in oil. It's made for this. And that's the repair to the first cylinder complete. I repeated the process on the second one, and then the cylinders were fitted back on the grader. We turned the wheels left and right to check for any oil leaks, and everything was perfect. I then completed all the minor repair work, and the grader was loaded just as scheduled. If you have watched this far into the video, I appreciate your support. But stay tuned, I've got more coming. Cheers guys.